Hey everybody, it's Mary Dalba from marydalba.com, here to talk to you about the full moon in Aquarius, which is happening on Friday, July 23rd at 10:37 p.m. So let's take both of these separately at first. We'll talk about the full moon, and then we'll talk about Aquarius, then we'll put it all together. The full moon is when the energy is at its peak for the month. It's the highest point of energy. And the moon rules inner guidance, intuition, mothering, nurturing, and emotions. So, full moon being at the highest point of energy for the month, you're going to be feeling that. We all do. It is designed to have us be a bit heightened. We may notice that we can't sleep. Our energy may be just, feeling our emotions and energy just may be a little extra during that time. It happens once a month. We know this, and we know how we react. So, Aquarians, they're the rebels of the zodiac. They are the people who definitely don't follow the traditional path. When they're presented with something that's the traditional path, Aquarians, since it is an air sign, even though they have the water bearer as their symbol, Aquarians are an air sign. They're thinking about ways to change the system. They are thinking about ways that they can serve groups, they can serve the collective. They're all about the higher purposes in life, what that's about. How do we reach that enlightenment stage? Aquarians really are I love describing them as the rebels, because they're changing the world. And even if it's just their world with their group of friends, or it's globally, that's what Aquarians do. So full moon in Aquarius, energy is heightened around these ideas of friends and groups, how to be the rebel, and also what the higher purpose is. So think back to January 29th of this year. And that was when the new moon in Aquarius happened. So we might have started some of this work where we were changing our friends, maybe joining different groups, new groups. If you think about it, we were sort of still in the pandemic energy. So we were trying to find different ways to connect, trying to take some time to understand what our purpose was. And of course, how do we do things differently? So now it's 6 months later. And are we doing things differently? Are we reaching out to people differently? Do we have that nice, tight network of folks around us? And if not, then this is something that you can think about. It doesn't necessarily mean you start something new, but it's a good time to cleanse and clean, discard, release. Huge to release. I know folks that do full moon baths just to take a bath and release any energy. They go in with that intention. So if you have a hurt from a former friend, it's a good time to release it. If you have a system that didn't serve you so well, think about how you can change it. And it may be better to put it into practice at the new moon. Thinking about your higher purpose. What have you experienced over the past 6 months that may be encouraging you to do something a little bit differently, or just expand on what you're already doing? You already may be clear on your higher purpose, and that's great. So the full moon in an air sign is going to want you to think about things. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be spinning in your head. The Aquarians don't really like to do that. They are very thoughtful, but they rather figure out ways to move forward. So they don't necessarily sit on something and think about it and think about it and think about it. They're the doers. So they think of something, they kind of get it formulated, off they go, and then they reassess. Because you can't really wait around if you're a rebel. So this is a time to think about what you want to let go. Again, the full moon is at its peak of energy. So as it wanes or gets smaller, which is what it does after the full moon, you're letting things go. You're releasing things that are holding you back. You are releasing fear, say, because of that rebel energy. You're releasing old friendships. You're releasing old partnerships. You're releasing the idea that something isn't possible, because everything is possible. And especially with that rebel energy, definitely possible. So Another interesting little tidbit I'll tell you is that we have another full moon in Aquarius on August 22nd. So that energy of Aquarius is going to be hanging around for a little while. It's a good time to think about what are your next steps with yourself, with other people. So if you want more information, you can always reach out to me, Mary at marydalba.com, or go to my website, www.marydalba.com, and get a ton of information on my blog about astrology and self-care. Right now, I'm in the middle of a series about the book, The Four Agreements. There's all kinds of information there. Feel free to let me know if there's something that you want to know about. But enjoy the full moon energy. Think about what you want to release. Take a full moon bath if you want, just to let things go. Write down something, burn it, so it goes to the universe and gets released. But it's time to cleanse, clear, let go with the full moon in Aquarius. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll catch you next time.